That conversation happened while I was in my bedroom, twiddling my feet like Drake on a fucking cutesy phone call. What the fuck was it? It was
Certified lover
something
boy.
insane. Oh, I fucking remember now. I fucking remember now. This shit is crazy, bro. This shit is absolutely insane. Okay,
Yeah.
so fucking that same day. Oh, it wasn't the same day. It was the next day. So the next day, I was at church, or I was at the job, and my fucking sponsor guy, the guy he asked me after work. He's like, "Hey, do you want to go to the parish and like go to the tabernacle and say the the divine mercy chaplet." So it's just
Yeah.
like you say that for people who have died and like for people who are struggling. So we get to the parish and he has like keys to it because he's a fucking a based connoisseur of Christ-pilled individualness, and we go in and we're in the tabernacle, we're doing the prayer, we get done with the prayer and we come out, and plus that was really intense because that was I mean, I've gone to adoration where they have the Eucharist at the table and it's like, yeah, that is Christ's presence, but there's something, a little more serious about going to fucking the tabernacle, you and your homeboy going to the fucking tabernacle, the place that houses the fucking essence of God, and saying a
Yeah.
prayer like directly to God. Like that holds, yeah, even though the presence is in the Eucharist. Like I don't know, it's like 10, 20 people at adoration feels a little bit fucking less intense than like straight up being like 2v1ing God's fucking soul, like
What?
like it was a crazy experience. But
Damn.
so we get done with that and we walk out. And like when we had gotten there, the priest was there and he was talking to some guy, but he didn't really pay any attention. So we get out, priest is gone. This fucking dude is there. And
Yeah.
so he comes out and starts talking to us. And it's this fucking like old dude. And he comes out and he's like, "Hello, what's your guy's name?" And he's like, "Oh, my name is," and I'm like, "Oh, my name is James," And he's like, "Brother James." And like that instantly sets off this like core memory of like Jehovah's Witness shit when I was a kid with my mom. So instantly I'm like, this guy is not something I want to be fucking with. But
Yeah.
so we just like I don't want to be mean. So we're like sitting here listening to this guy talk, and he's like, "I'm traveling throughout the whole archdiocese because I'm trying to find the most zealous Catholics that I can find to take part in my apostolic tradition that'll reunite ourselves with the Benedictine model of family and friendship." So this guy is just going on and on and on and on and on and on and on about this. And this is before we got a good read on him, and he's discerning becoming a monk, right? And he like told him that, and the fucking old dude's like, "Oh, I wear like 5 hoodies because I use it to veil. Veiling's a beautiful thing." And he goes, "Here's a gift," and he gives fucking a hoodie, and he's like, "You could use this to veil." And you were just like,
What is what?
"Okay." He goes, "I wear all the clothes I have to bed because that's what the ancient church would do because they had no possessions. I wear everything I own to bed and I veil 24/7." It's like, bro, it's just wearing like a fucking worn out Justin Bieber hoodie from like fucking 2007. Like it was fucking, it was bizarre. So he asked us for our phone numbers, and at this point, it's innocent. It's just this guy's kind of weird. So we're like,
Yeah.
sure. So we give him the fucking phone number. He's like, "All right, brother James, I'll be seeing you." And it's like, all right, man. So I get it the next night when I worked together again, and we both got a text, and I went up and I was like, "Hey, did you get asked on that date too?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." So he fucking this guy, brother Mike, he fucking
Brother
he
Mike.
asked us he asked us if we wanted to go to fucking dinner with him after the 7 p.m. mass on Sunday, and I
Yeah.
told, it's like, I mean, if you're going, I'll go. Like if you're going, it's free food. If you're going, I'll go.
Yeah.
So he's like, I mean, I'll go. So it's like, all right, cool. So we told him, yeah, we'll go. So we fucking we get to mass, And this, I didn't realize how like oh, I forgot to mention when we were talking to him in the parking lot that night, the dude was just fucking macking on a Tootsie Roll, and you could fucking smell it. It was so funny. This dude's just going to town on a Tootsie Roll.
He pulls out two Tootsie Rolls out of his pocket,
Bro,
no
I,
wrapper. You boys
I
want some?
didn't I didn't even see him fucking pop it in. Like this dude was just fucking his saliva glands were just aromatically transferring the smell of fucking Tootsie Roll to my nostrils. Like it was fucking insane. It was like you ever see that clip from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure where that dude's like like fucking like balancing the cherry on his tongue and being all fucking weird?
I've literally never seen
Okay,
JoJo's
well
Bizarre
when I
Adventure.
edit this video, I'll put that shit in so it's relevant. But it was like the equivalent of that. And this guy's there's like no other way. It's like when a wine connoisseur like fucking like sips it and then like
Yeah.
spits it in and like fucking
Mm,
makes a tornado in it and like fucking
yeah.
aerates it. Like this dude, I have never fucking smelled a Tootsie Roll so pungently that wasn't in my own fucking mouth.
You didn't see
Also,
him pop it in. He just
bro,
populated it.
he was sucking on that shit for like 20 fucking minutes. Like,
Oh
how
my
does
god.
one suck on a Tootsie Roll and not just eat it in less than a minute? Like, what the fuck? like,
Wait,
like
where's this guy from?
he's from fucking where did he say he's from? I know he said he went to Ave Maria, which is in Florida, and I think he
Yeah.
said he was from like fucking Illinois or something.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but this dude's like fucking 65, 70. Just like I have I just I can't get like how the fuck does a Tootsie Roll not break down in 20 minutes from your saliva? Like how, dude, he was like and it was solid. Like
Oh
I could
god.
hear him clacking it around his dentures. It was fucking insane. But
Wait, so did you
anyways,
guys go?
yeah, so after mass ends and like this fuck this dude, okay, so halfway through he was sitting next to me during mass, right? And Brandon sits on the other side because he's a lay person, so he helps hand out. He's a Eucharist minister or whatever it's called. So
Yeah.
he's the one of the people that like hands it out. That's not the priest. So his fucking brother Mike is sitting next to me, and like it was every time we had to see because it's like fucking Simon says stand, Simon says sit, like fucking you like stand sit kneel, and every time we'd have to stand up, he would like fucking take like 3 minutes to stand up, and then by the time he was up, we were sitting down, like. But oh my, so this dude is like crippled, right? But he fucking doesn't have a real cane. He just walks around with like a ski pole.
What?
like a straight up ski pole, like the kind like where it has like the fucking like the peg and then like the fucking like circular area above it so it
Wait,
doesn't like go too far in the
I need you
snow.
to describe one more time what this guy looks like. Like he's just wearing a
Oh,
bunch of
okay. I guess
hoodies.
I haven't described him well enough, I guess. So this man stands at about 5'8". All right.
Yeah.
Uh, no facial hair, short
Yeah.
hair,
Uh,
very very small upper lip, like non-existent. He wears a suit and a hoodie over it.
uh,
Not only
okay.
that, he has a suit, a hoodie on it, and then like those fucking like rich people, the like rich kids that go on their fucking dad's yacht. He has another hoodie tied around his neck,
Over the hoodie.
over the hoodie and the suit.
Uh, and he walks around with a ski
He
pole.
hobbles around with the ski pole. he
What kind
he
of shoes does
walks
he
like
wear?
I didn't fucking fit check him, Nick. I just saw what I was looking at. Like the
Fit check.
fuck. I mean, if I had to guess, some like Skechers or New Balances with a nice thick sole, like I don't fucking
Yeah.
know. Like, but
Holy
so
shit.
anyways, we're
Wait,
in
hold on. I
mass and
think
he's
my
sitting.
phone is electrocuting me.
Yeah.
Does your phone ever do that?
No.
Like
You know,
I'll be
it
charging and I'll like
reminds me. Oh, is it just like overheating?
No, like I'm like charging it. I'm like holding it, and I feel like those like shock pens.
Yeah.
I feel that sometimes for my
Fuck.
phone when it's charging.
You know what it might be? It reminds me of this story. You remember when people used to do that thing where they draw a fucking like square on your skin with a Sharpie and then they put the camera next to it and they'd like take a picture with the flash on it, it would shock you?
That's a thing.
Yeah, okay, side story. So, when I like just dropped out of high school and was like being a
Yeah.
fucking loser, right? Fucking we were hanging out, me and the group I was in, we were hanging out at this guy's house that we were go to, and his room was called the Titty, and it was like, it was an exclusive hangout zone, man. It was like a whole trial, and the trial of the decade if I was to be accepted into the Titty. But
Whoa.
anyways, this is when I hung out with that chick that was that turned into a porn star. She was there.
Oh fuck.
So we're at this guy's house, and he has like this little
What a
fucking like,
setting.
yeah, right. And it was called the Titty because he had like a calendar that like all the fucking calendar months had like naked girls on it.
Yeah.
But so we're at this place. The fucking porn chick is there. Her boyfriend at the time is there. Actually, I don't know if they were dating yet. I think that was before she tried to fuck that dude that's in the Marines now. She tried to fuck him in my mom's bed, and I like almost beat the shit out of both of them.
What the
But
fuck?
yeah, there's a lot of stories I could tell, but I'm just gonna knock through one at a time. but so we're hanging at this guy's place, and he had like this fucking little like table, but it was like the most solid fucking wood I have ever experienced in my life. So
Yeah.
they didn't tell me what was gonna happen when they fucking did this thing. They just go, "Hey, let me draw this black square on your arm with a Sharpie, and then hold your phone up to it and take a picture with the flash on." And I did, and it shocked me, and it like it wasn't like a fucking straight up like shock, like a fucking like electric therapy shock, but it was like
It,
enough to like freak me out. So I like kicked my feet out really quick, and my pinky toe on my right foot just at full fucking force slammed this fucking table, and I fucking like stripped half naked. I'm in this dude's bathroom. My pinky toe's just squirting blood, and the porn
holy
star chick
shit.
comes in, and she's like, "Oh my god, are you okay? Are you okay?" Anyways, I told this story because you didn't have to draw a square because you're just dark skinned. So.
Whoa. Wait, what does it feel like? Like a static electric shock?
Have you ever been like fucking around with like wires that go to a receptacle in the wall and accidentally gotten shocked?
No, but I can imagine what that feels like.
Well, it'd be like that.
Uh, huh.
And to anyone that listens to this, not that anyone would, I don't go around sticking forks in outlets. My father is an electrician, and I fucking worked on these things. And he notoriously didn't want to take the time to turn off the power to that receptacle unit. He didn't care about turning the breaker off, so we just constantly work on hot shit. So.
Oh man, when I was renovating the house, man, the amount of times that I turned off the wrong breaker.
You didn't test it before you fucking went and worked on it?
No, before someone else went and worked on it.
I mean, if it's not you.
Oh god.
So, anyways, fucking, we're at mass. We you know how like after the homily, you rise and he fucking walks over, the priest, and he starts the the thing, and then you kneel and he starts the Eucharist thing, and then you stand, you say an Our Father, and you say that it is right and just, or we give ourselves to the Lord, it is right and just, and then offer a prayer, offer God's blessing or offer the peace of Christ to people around you, and you do the peace be with you thing. So, and then you kneel down again, and then you fucking each pew stands up to go receive the Eucharist. So we're going out, and this guy's in front of me, and somehow he ends up behind me in line. But
Yeah.
he So obviously I can't receive the Eucharist yet, so I just get my blessing and I walk off, and then he fucking receives his Eucharist and he hobbles over, and I was gonna let him into the pew because he was sitting in front of me, and he goes, no, no, don't worry about it. I was like, okay, so I just sit down and I look, and he like fucking moves to the back of the room. Turns out he had a little ploy. He saw this other fucking kid named I think his name was Isaac. Some fucking like 19-year-old that's going to UW, and he's like trying to do his final, and fucking with the time he has, like St. Joe's was just the best place he could go to. So he starts chatting this guy up after mass, and I'm not trying to go out there alone because after mass Ben has to clean the dishes that touch the Eucharist because he can't have the body of Christ, just like going down the fucking drain to the Puget Sound. Yeah. So I fucking go hang out with this guy, and I'm like, yeah, I ain't going out there alone. So we end up going out there, and this fucking dude is just like trapped this kid in this conversation about Benedict. And keep in mind, when he talks about this shit, he just goes in a fucking circle. Like, it never leads anywhere. It's just the same shit in a circle. So eventually, this kid is just like, he fucking pats this guy on the arm, and he's like, I would love to listen to this, but I really have to go. And then just walked away. And, retrospectively looking back on it, this guy had the right idea, like, fucking, this guy had, so anyways. Everyone is
love to listen to this, but I really cut you.
Dude, the fucking and before he left, fucking oh my god. So we're talking about Benedictine shit, whatever, and the kid like somehow it got brought up where he's like, because like this fucking brother Mike is like trying to find a bunch of people to like make priests and like lead his fucking thing, and he like asked this kid if he wanted to be a priest, and this kid's like, yeah, no, I like definitely want to get married. And like somehow fucking brother Mike starts talking about like how he like fucked a bunch in high school.
In high school?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I wanted to be a priest when I was a kid. I'd go to these kids' house that were brothers, and they would sit there and say the mass all in Latin, and I had no fucking idea what was happening. And then as soon as I had like got to the end, and I kind of had an idea what was happening, they'd switch places, and then the other one would be the priest, and then the other one would be the deacon, and they'd do mass all over again and say it all in Latin. And then when I grew up, it was really hard to keep from temptation, so I fucked a lot of girls in high school, He's just like fucking bragging, but he's like trying to. So at this point, this guy, like, I think it was at this point where he like fucking slaps him on the arm. He's like, I would love to hear this, but I need to go. And just fucking walked away. And as he's going, fucking brother Mike's like, oh, I'll catch you later, brother Isaac.
Brother Isaac.
It's like, this guy literally is like fucking how we text each other with brother with the dots above the O. Like, fucking... So, we head out. We head to the parking lot, and St. Joe's parking lot. So like we are just outside we're just outside the doors, and everyone's gone at this point. It's just the three of us left, and we're trying to decide on a place to go, and we ended up deciding on Red Robin, and which is like based because like that shit is expensive, and I have been eating canned green beans and tuna salad for the last month. So yeah, I'd love some Red Robin, please.
Oh my god.
So we're like, oh, you can just follow, or Brian goes, oh, do you want to ride with me, James? Because he knows I'm poor. He knows I can't afford gas like that. And fucking brother Mike goes, why don't we all just ride together? It's like,
oh my god.
Oh god. So Brian fucking goes, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And I'm just like, fuck. And I was like, all right, man, let's go. So we're trying to give this guy directions to Red Robin, and this fucking dude like won't shut the fuck up about the Benedictine fucking apostolic brotherhood he's trying to make. And we're like, dude, you need to fucking turn right here. Like, we need to get on fucking State Route 900 and go over I-90. Like, we need to fucking go. Like, we are not gonna go for a fucking jolly old ride with you, dude. Like, I want food. Like,
no, you're like, you got to take a right here. You know what that reminds me of?
the rite of brotherhood in Benedictine model. So, anyways, we fucking get there, and we get seated, right? And it's like fucking 30 minutes before it closes. It's like 9:30, and so it's like just us there. Essentially, the waitress comes up, and it's this black chick, right? And this dude is just so ignorant to how he sounds. He asks her for her name. I think it's like Dewana. And he goes, Sister Dewana. It's like, bro. Like, you can't just be calling a black chick sister. Like, she's not gonna fucking... You're, like, 60 years old. She's not gonna get that you're just some radical fucking Catholic retard. She's gonna think you're a racist. Like, you can't just be doing this. So... like, yeah. And he goes, where's that name from? And she's like, yeah, I don't know. And he's like, oh, come on, Sister Dewana. Where's the name from? She's like, I don't know. My mom told me he was Swedish. And, like, you can tell the look on his face. He's just like, you're telling me that's not a name? And it's like, bro, like, just shut the fuck up. Like, this chick's just trying to take our orders. Like, we don't need to fucking be having this conversation. So, essentially... Just, he's keen to like the retardation that's going on, and he's just like, yeah, we'll just get 3 cores. And so she's like, all right, cool. And fucking walks away. And like, so then God. He fucking starts going on and on and on and on. And then he goes, well, you said you had a book you were reading, right? And it was I think it's this book. It's like the Confessions of Saint who started the Jesuits? I think it was Ignatius. And so he like just talked about this thing, and he goes, well, why don't you read what you're on? And starts to read it, and Brother Mike goes, oh, do you mind? And holds his hands out to like take the book. And Brendan's like, I guess. So this dude just fucking takes the book from him and just starts reading it out loud. like
just loud as shit.
No, not like loud as shit, but like he's asking like, oh, you know, does anything pop out from this book? And Brendan's like, yeah, you know, right here. And he's like, well, why don't I read this for you? Like, what the fuck? Like, it's popcorn reading in fucking Eastside Catholic, you know? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So he essentially goes on, and eventually fucking finishes and gets the fucking book back, and the beers come, and I instantly am like, I need this fucking beer. Like, I am not getting through this night without this fucking beer in me. So, and then she comes back, and oh my god. So she comes for the order, and I'm just like, you know, I played it safe as like Whiskey River Barbecue or whatever the fucking burger is. And fucking Brother Mike goes, well, what are you having? And he's like, I was probably just gonna get a bacon cheeseburger. And he goes, well, then I too will have the bacon cheeseburger. And the chick's just like, he goes, Sister Dewana, 2 bacon cheeseburgers, please.
I love how he's still calling her sister.
Dude, every time he addressed her, he called her Sister Dewana.
Sister Dewana.
Every time. And so, she fucks off. She's like, whatever, dude, I got your fucking order. I'm out of here. And, he goes, you see how I ordered the same thing as you? And Brett's like, he goes, you see how I ordered the same thing as you, Brother Brendan? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, that's because in the Benedictine model of brotherhood, I need to try to understand you. The dude just wouldn't shut the fuck up. So he keeps going, and then he gets to this part where he's like talking about like trying to fucking like gentrify the way we fucking apologetics and like get more people. He's like, we need to do like the Muslims, because the Muslims, they don't, think Jesus is God. They just think he's a prophet. But like Saint Gabriel went to him, and it's like, first off in my mind, I'm like, that is a red flag. Like, no, that was not Saint Gabriel, because Christ says that any prophet past him is a false prophet and should be damned. So strike
Gabriel
one,
was
brother.
after Jesus.
No. Saint Gabriel is a angel. It's Archangel Gabriel.
Oh wait, what are you saying though? About the
So
prophet
Saint
thing?
Gabriel was the one that came down and told Mother Mary that she was pregnant with God. So
Yeah.
pretty much Muslims believe Muhammad's this fucking like Middle Eastern inbred retard, right? Like literally can't read or write. Like retarded. And he's like fucking poor as shit, so he's like involuntarily fasting, and he finds himself in this fucking cave in the middle of bumfuck Middle East, and pretty much, quote unquote, an angel came to him and like pretty much just started WWE fucking smackdown, like literally like fucking throwing him across the cave and like beating the fucking shit out of him. And he's like, you need to be a prophet, like just fucking crazy shit. And he goes back to his fucking wife, and she's like, yeah, that was Saint Gabriel. And he's like, bro, that was I'm a fucking prophet. So it's built off of retardation, And they try to claim they're Abrahamic and that they're descendants of Ishmael, which, if you remember, Abraham had 2 sons. The first one was Ishmael because his wife couldn't get pregnant, and God told him to have a son to lead nations, so he fucked the
and then
wife's
second one.
so the second one was Isaac, and that was the one that like actually took, So Ishmael's like the bastard child. So he still had a covenant in the sense of he was blessed, but he was like literally described as like a fucking Neanderthal retard in the Bible. Like he was like it's described. I think it says that he will be a beast of the wild is how they put it. Like,
holy shit.
And so Muhammad comes around, can't read, can't write, gets fucking RKO'd by this demon, and his dumbass fucking wife tells him it's Saint Gabriel. So what does he do? He starts Islam, and fucking, keep in mind, he can't fucking write. So like all this shit comes from years after him, and it's just all these fucking followers of him that have just like written this shit down. And it has, they say they're fucking, successors to Christianity, and they say Christianity was fucking desecrated and that Jesus was just a prophet, and they still believe in like the Old Testament, even though they fucking hate Jews more than the fucking average connoisseur of 4chan, like fucking
Average connoisseur.
Like, it's just retarded. None of it makes sense. It's like I told you earlier. They're like, you can deep fry apostates and eat them with a side of grits. It's like fucking retarded shit.
Holy shit.
So, anyways, this fucking brother Mike.
Wow.
Brother Mike starts going
That's
off
hard.
about how. Brother Mike starts going off about how we need to like take a fucking lesson from Islam about like how the women veil better and how they have a connection to Mother Mary, which technically they do because they believe Jesus is a prophet, so they still venerate Mary, but it's not like actually as much. I mean, she's the Theotokos, dude. Like that is a fucking word that did not exist before they fucking made it up to describe her, to literally describe how, like, did you know the Immaculate Conception was not when Jesus was conceived, but it was when Mary was conceived?
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, because the Immaculate Conception refers to a human being being born without original sin and never being in a state outside of perfect grace. Which is exactly why she was the person to birth Christ, because Christ couldn't be held. It's like the tabernacle, dude. She was the tabernacle of the physical body of Christ. Like the
Yeah.
tabernacle, they built that because God couldn't just come down and fucking be with all this bullshit fucking trash demon shit. They built the tabernacle because it was a purified place where God could house himself.
Yeah.
Mary being immaculately conceived and not having any original sin and not being in a state of sin, always being in a state of grace, was the tabernacle for Christ. I mean, it's triune God, so it's still God, but the Son, not the Father, to come down and be born into flesh. So,
Yeah.
but they're retarded, so they think he's a prophet and they venerate her differently. But essentially, he's like going on about all this shit about like we need to like fucking get like the Muslims and have our women veil because they got that shit down, you know. And it's like essentially he's going on and on and on and on and on about this shit. And I was like at one point I was like, well, it wasn't Saint Gabriel, like it just wasn't, you know. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, the quote unquote angel was very violent with him. That doesn't describe. I mean, the only time you could maybe say that an angel was violent like that was when I think it was. I think it's Jewish folklore, like ancient Jewish folklore, that it was Saint Gabriel that came down and wrestled with Jacob, and then after Jacob like almost beat the angel, and the angel like had to like fucking dislocate his knee, he was like, "All right, you passed. Your name is Israel now." So like that's
Yeah.
the only other time where like you could see an angel being violent, but that wasn't even violent. That was just like kind of a thing. But like so I was like, I mean, that isn't I'm like fucking doing apologetics 101 on Brother Mike, you know.
Yeah.
Supposedly this guy graduated from Ave Maria, a Franciscan university, like a very renowned Catholic university. So
Really?
yeah, yeah. So I'll get to that part later too, because it gets even deeper than this. So and then I started talking about
Dude,
like
there's
I'm
so
like,
much lore here.
oh, it's fucking. It was literally that's why I like soy jacked when I fucking remembered it because it was like actually insane.
Yeah.
So fucking and then after that I was like, well, and you keep talking about unifying the Catholics. What was the one time in history where Catholics around the world came and united with each other? And I was like, it was when fucking Muslims took and sacked Jerusalem. They came to fight the Muslims. And he like looks at me with these fucking wide eyes and fucking -5 upper lip, +20 bottom lip, just like fucking gaped open.
2K
Fucking
player features.
dude, his tongue was like searching around for a Tootsie Roll to fucking like cope with or something. But he goes, "Well, you got a point there."
Well, you got a point there.
So,
Wow.
a few other things like that happened where he was just saying some stupid shit, and I had to like, like essentially he said some shit where he's like, well, he made a reference to God doing evil, and I like as soon as he said it, I'm like, what do you mean by that? You know, like what
What
the
you
fuck are you
mean?
talking about? Because
What
it's
you mean,
like
my boy?
God, it's like it's like God can't do evil. Like evil
Wait,
didn't
what did he
exist
say? What
because
did he say that God did?
oh,
Like,
dude, I fucking forget. This was like 2 weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago now. But
what was his point in saying that though?
I don't even remember. Like, it wasn't even a direct fucking like. It wasn't even a direct like example. It was just like people think, or he just said like when God does evil things. He said some shit like that.
Oh, he
Uh,
just kind of like inferred it, kind of. Or...
no, he said evil. He like
Oh,
literally said when God does evil. Like I forget what the context was. I just remember that clear as day. And so
yeah.
I was like, well, God can't be evil. The only reason evil exists is because it's the opposite of God. And God didn't create evil. It's just when God is perfect and divine, when things rebel against him, it is naturally defined as evil because it is the opposite of pure divinity. You know, like that's just how it works. It is philosophy 101. And he goes, well, when God did, I go, well, you know, when the flood happened, you know, the people that died, they could think that God is doing evil things. But I mean, I said, what do we say when the Eucharist is being transubstantiated? We say, he goes, let us give thanks to the Lord our God. And we respond, it is right and just. I go, it is right and just. Like, we may think that he's doing evil, but we're just little fucking humans. And this fucking Chad created everything, you know? Like,
Yeah.
if we want to fucking talk about like Mega Chad, like that is a title that should be like the secondary title to Cristo Ray, you know? Like, anyways, fucking. So he's like, whoa, I guess, and it's just like I'm thinking to myself like, this dude is fucking retarded. Like, what
Yeah.
part of this guy is Catholic? Because he is
Yeah.
saying retarded shit.
He sounds
So
like what it sounds like, or at least from what I'm getting from what you're
right.
saying, is like he's like a Protestant almost, or like he's acting like one in the
Well,
sense of
he's
like
it's not even
he's got
Protestantism. Like he's acting like a fucking like Jehovah's Witness, like a straight up like radical.
yeah, like he like understands and knows like all of this stuff, but like it's like almost like when you become an expert or like a master at something, you start
Right.
breaking the rules a bit because you've mastered it so
Exactly.
well. It's like
Exactly.
that, but this is not that. It doesn't work
Like
that way.
he's learned all this shit and he's like putting it on a fucking board and making the spider web connections and it's like, no, bro, like this and this do not connect. This and this are not the same. Like you still have to follow the catechism. Like even if you fucking graduated from Ave Maria, you still need to follow the catechism. That is the basis of Catholic faith.
Yeah, it's like fucking yeah. He's going outside the boundaries and borders because he's got everything within them down. It's almost become like a part of his like ego,
Oh,
right?
100%.
Where
Yeah.
it's like now he feels like he's like he can make rules or like say how things are.
Well,
I don't know.
dude, the thing is, like, and this is like the beginning of when we were eating. He like fucking was talking about like he's like Benedict, like no, he started talking about the fuck, what is it called? Shit, hold on, let me look this up.
Fuck, cunt.
I guess it's
Um,
different if you swear.
no, but fuck, what was I saying?
Uh, yeah, that's even more of a
That's
mystery.
kind of one thing I've been thinking about recently
Yeah.
is like when I
I found it. Go ahead though.
first
We'll finish it after that.
went on my like spiritual shit,
Yeah.
right? Like when I was like losing my mind and like on my God complex shit, it was like
Right.
I was taking like Catholic Christian, like beliefs and like adding my own shit to it or like, twisting it in a certain way or whatever the fuck. Like,
Right.
I feel like it's so easy for us to do that. I feel like it's really easy for people to do that. To
Oh,
be like,
100%.
to not understand something completely or to not like agree with it and like
Yeah.
just be like, well, this doesn't feel right to me. So this is probably not what God meant. Like,
No, yeah. And the thing is, it's like we are called to circumcise our hearts because our heart doesn't know. Like we are innocent until we're. I mean, you're not technically because you've been baptized, so you don't have original sin. But I still have original sin because I'm not baptized. And it's
yeah.
like we are literally broken. Even after
Mm.
baptism, we are broken. So it's like this shit where it's like, oh, it doesn't sit right with me. It's like that is because we're like fucking retarded and we can't
No,
like if it doesn't work in your brain, it's because you fucking are lesser. Like
yeah. It's like, how do you expect, like, it's like expecting like a child to understand like how to do your taxes. Like,
the best way I've heard it fucking summed up is it's like you live in this neighborhood where there's like a really like fucking long windy hill that's like covered by trees and you can't see around the turns and
yeah,
like your dad tells you don't ride your bike down that hill and like that's the equivalent to God being like, don't like fucking jerk off to e-girls OnlyFans because it's a sin. And like as a little fucking retard human, We go, but mommy milker TikTok epic fucking goth girl. And in the scenario, it's like the kid's like, but I want to ride my bike down Base Chad Hill. And it's like, okay, so kid rides his bike down the hill. Dad tells him not to. Kid thinks his dad's just being a dick. Kid doesn't fucking see the turn, gets blindsided and fucking ran over by a truck. All right, we fucking jerk off to goth mommy milker e-girls. No, okay, we're gonna say to Sim, we go to hell. Like, maybe it doesn't fucking make sense to us, and maybe we think it's just God being mean versus in this scenario our parents just being fucking cunts. Like, you just don't understand, man. I'm gonna be cool as fuck if I deck this hill. But it's because they know more. Like, there is depth to the reason why people forbid things, because it will
Yeah.
save you.
Yeah.
But anyways, I found it was the book I was thinking of is the Summa Theologica, written by Saint Thomas of Aquinas, and
Mm.
so he took a lot of. I mean, Thomas of Aquinas wasn't perfect in his theology. I'm pretty sure he got the Immaculate Conception wrong, actually. So, I mean, it's not the catechism, you know, it's not like the end all fucking agreement of this is the faith. It's just some fucking really base dude that fucking wrote a bunch of cool shit, got a couple things wrong. But he took a lot of inspiration from, I think, Aristotle, which, you know,
Yeah.
fucking Greek pagan. And
Yeah.
so brother Mike like starts jerking off Greek pagan fucking. He's like, these guys, they were pagan, but they paved the way for Christians, and it's like, no, I mean, I guess I see what you're saying, but like, no. And then he's after this, he follows it up with like, and there's like 3 levels to consciousness. There's the base one where like, and then he grabs my arm. He's like, where I feel you, I feel you, brother James. And then there's like, and he didn't get past that because he could see it in my eyes. So I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But he's like, he just kept going on about like a bunch of cringe. So I guess to wrap up this dinner, because you know we get to the base of it. Fucking he asks. That's right. He doesn't even ask for the check. Sister Dewana just drops off the bill because it's like past closing time, and this dude won't shut the fuck up. And then essentially, like, she makes enough comments about like, oh, would you like to like move to a different seating so we can clean this? And I'm like trying to be like, it's 10:10, Brody. We gotta go. And
Yeah.
we get in the car. Oh, I forgot to tell you, this dude is like crippled, right? And he goes, yeah, I messed up my neck when I got off my plane at SeaTac. I was going down the escalators to get to the baggage claim, and I just started tumbling backwards. Like, this dude straight up out of like fucking Home Alone, just like fucking going for a tumble on the eskies, you know? Like, fucking. Oh. It was. So we fucking get in this guy's car, and again, I'm trying to give him fucking directions back to the parish, and he won't shut the fuck up, and he's like not listening. And then we get back, and I was like gonna fucking talk to. I was gonna be like, hey, like what the fuck just happened? But this fucking dude just like sits in his car and stares at us, and I was like, okay. So I just like get in my car and I drive, and I call. And I was like, he goes, oh, hey James, what's up? And I'm like, yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that guy is like good, well intentioned, but like fucking insane, right? And he's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, definitely. It's like, fuck.
That's fire.
And he goes, I didn't get a chance to tell you this before, but, and this was on Sunday. He goes, on
Yeah.
Friday, he's going to have a talk with Father Todd because he wants to try to bring that whole apostolic fucking brotherhood bullshit to our parish. And pretty much Father Todd's going to shoot him down. And it's like, all right, cool. So then,
They already talked about it.
Yeah, I mean, Father Todd, I mean, you've met him. Dude, that guy is 55.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Father Todd is 55. Does he look 55 to you?
Oh, actually, that's true. He looks really good for 55. Now I think about
He
it.
looks like he's fucking like early 40s.
Yeah, no, true.
I guess he didn't
Oh,
convert
wow.
until like he was like late 20s, and he didn't go to seminary until like mid 30s.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But what fucking was? I think it was oh, It was so there was some redemptionist priest from like literally from Rome that came and gave a talk at our parish for 3 nights. I didn't get to go to the. It was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I didn't get to go to Tuesday because I had to cover for fucking because he wanted to go on Tuesday. Cringe. But I went to Monday and Wednesday, and I think it was. I forget. I think it was Wednesday he showed up, and essentially, here comes Brother Mike strolling around, and Brother sit next to me. Brother Mike comes to sit down, and Brother fucking leaves, and it's like, what the fuck? Like now I'm
Just
stuck with,
leaves you
yeah,
stranded.
I'm like now I'm stuck with Brother Mike on my fucking right hip, like fucking
Brother
tootsie
Mike.
rolling it up, dude. It's so funny. He literally every time he talks to someone, he says brother and then their name. Like it's fucking insane. But
Sister Duwan.
so Sister Nevada.
I
But
fucking love that.
so afterwards, fucking like sees me and he's like, "Hey, yeah, let's get the fuck out of here." I was like, okay." So we fucking get out, and he's like, I was like, "Damn, man, I wanted to get a cookie and talk to the Redemptionist priest." He's like, "Yeah, sorry, but like that guy's here, and we need to get the fuck out of here." I was like, okay." He's like, "Yeah, I'll call you." So we're driving off, and he calls me. He's like, "Yeah, so pretty much that guy." He's like, "So after fucking we went to dinner with him, I texted him. I was like, you need to stop talking to James. Like, I'm his sponsor. You don't need to worry about this. Like, I will take care of it. We've already got this shit on lock. Like, you don't need to fucking worry about this." And he didn't. He hasn't texted me since. So I guess he got the picture on that. But
Oh shit.
he fucking I guess texted, and he was like, and keep in mind, I told you I already told this guy he wanted to be a monk. But
Yeah.
he fucking texted and he's like, he goes, "Follow me. I will get you into Ave Maria. You'll become a Franciscan priest, and you'll lead millions if you follow me." And it's like, yeah, that is not the words you should be saying to someone who's going to be becoming a monk. Like that is very heretical.
Sounds
So,
fucking scary too. What the fuck?
dude, this guy's like literally insane.
He
So,
he's like on his whole esoteric knowledge thing, but on the Catholic end, I guess, like
dude, we should set
where
him
he's
up
just
with your
making up his
boss.
own shit. He's become a dev for Catholicism.
He's a moderator of the Catholic Discord.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it sounds like. He thinks he is like.
Yeah, on God. But wallahi, I mean. But fucking so blocks this guy, and then I went out for dicks that night because he's like felt bad that he cucked me out of a cookie, so he like fucking met at his place and he drove us to dicks. But
Yeah.
fucking I forget something happened recently. Oh, yeah. So then all that shit happened. The priest talked to him, pretty much told him to fuck off. And then just tonight, so Brian left early because there's like I guess every Friday during Lent they do a like a soup thing after mass, and he wanted to go, so he left early today, and that was why it was super fucking man down. It really sucked, but whatever. So I'm texting him after, and I'm like, I was telling him about how my car shit is happening because I didn't get to talk to him at work. So he left like right as I got there. So I told him about my car registration, and I told him about how my fucking dad like actually didn't have life insurance or health insurance on me, and just like didn't fucking tell me. Like, oh, oops, quirky moment, you know.
Yeah.
And so fucking he go I tell him, and I was like, yeah, and then we had all those fucking people stealing, and it was like really cringe. And he goes, "What's worse? The a code 10 is like what you call someone stealing a hog. What's worse, those code 10s or talking to brother Mike? I heard his spiel for the third time tonight, but I was kind and served him and sat him and during soup and supper. He tried recruiting me at least four more people, actually five." And it's like, oh my god, bro, this fucking guy.
Have you caught yourself ever just like theorizing about like heretical shit?
Oh, constantly, dude.
Or not like, I guess I don't really think it's like a catch. I feel like it's like natural for you to like
Oh,
think about stuff like
yeah.
that, but I feel like or like starting to believe, I guess, or convince yourself. stuff, or do
Dude,
you
that
always
happened to
catch
me
yourself?
just today, man. Like, I
Really?
start connecting dots, and it's like, well, this makes sense now. This makes sense now. And then after I'm done with the thought, I look and I'm like, yeah, but then if I actually, like, juxtapose that with the New Testament, like, it makes zero sense, and it only works if you connect, like, three fucking dots. So, I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the Catholic Bible and the Catechism is like it's been getting sturdy for 2,000 years.
Whoa.
So like,
Yeah.
there's no way you're gonna fucking just like I bet the Nick Fuentes said like, oh yeah, some fucking retard watched like a 3 minute edit and like knows better than the Catholic Church 2,000 years of history now. Like, you're just not gonna, you know. And
Yeah.
what it comes down to is, you know, circumcise your heart. And like we're talking about earlier, and like you have these thoughts, and it doesn't make sense that the Bible says this, and it's like, yeah, it's because we're fucking retards.
Yeah. No, I know that's what I've like brought it down. Like I've seen some videos on TikTok recently of like people on their like new age shit, and they're trying to like talk about how Christianity and Catholicism doesn't make sense because of this, blah blah blah, this and that. And I'm thinking like I just don't understand how people buy into the new age shit with like how many inconsistencies there are, and then just like because
Dude, it's
they don't understand why God would do this thing because to them it's so
yeah,
horrible. Like,
yeah. Like when God ordered for him to kill like all of the fucking Canaanites, and it's like, even the babies. And it's like, yeah, because these people were like literally like fucking chopping baby penises off and eating them like little fucking smoky weenies, you know? And, like, they were sacrificing fucking children and then like fucking eating their flesh. Like, these people were not good people. They were wrought with fucking evil. Like,
yeah,
it maybe makes you a little sad that you had to wipe out you genocide the Canaanites, but it's like, maybe in the long run it's worth it.
yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
dude, have you heard the pro choice fucking argument where it's like, well, God killed his son.
I never heard that. What the fuck?
Yeah, I've been hearing a bunch of shit like that on TikTok. Well, you say you can't kill a baby. God killed his son, and it's like, first off, you stupid fucking bitch. Uh, even though it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
What is God?
Yeah, I think I was telling you about this. I read the book recently where it's like God is the thinker, Christ is the thought, and because they're both perfect, they perfectly mirror each other, so they are the same. It is just like a complete, like, this is modalism, so it's a heresy in itself. But if you talk about the fucking Trinity at all, you're gonna fall into heresy because it gets chalked up to a mystery. But
Yeah,
fucking, and keep in mind that the Holy Spirit proceeds from the love between Christ, the Son, and the Father. So it wasn't created, it like came from them, but it proceeds from both of them, not just the Father. Because the Orthodox think that the Holy Spirit just proceeds from the Father, and that Christ, the Son, proceeds from the Father, which is heretical because that would instigate that the Father is greater because they proceed from it. So,
oh man.
but
What's
yeah,
what's one
bitches, huh?
what's one of those connect the dots moments where you're like, yeah, you're going outside of like your human boundaries that you've caught yourself in recently, or like
So
what's
this
like the
just
most
happened
interesting
today
one?
on the. I mean, this happened today on the drive to work. Have you ever heard of like Gnosticism?
I don't know what it means.
So pretty much it was like, I mean, one of the biggest things in the New Testament was fill in the gap between Greek and Jew. I
Mm,
mean, typically, like when you hear Christ talk about the old covenant being like fulfilled and the new covenant being for everyone, and he says there's no longer Jew or Goyim, you know, and he says there's no difference between Jew or Greek. Like, it was a big thing because Hellenism took over a lot, even though Rome was, you know, the primary enforcer at this time.
yeah,
Hellenistic culture had wrought throughout the Middle East in that, or the Mediterranean, if you will, in that time because of the year, like centuries prior. So, pretty much when Christianity was established, like, this is probably like fucking centuries later. it's a century, decades or century. I think it's like a century after Christ died. Pretty much, it was a bunch of Greek people that. So Aristotle had this idea of a demiurge, where it was essentially like. Did you ever watch Full Metal Alchemist?
No.
Fuck. It's like these. So I'll just explain what Gnostics believe. So they believe that God, like the actual God, was lonely. So he created demiurges, which were the first things in the quote unquote real, like the physical realm. And because they were made directly by God, that they are like close to like God ish. And so essentially, one of the demiurges, like, wanted to be the god, so then he created the physical realm and all the worlds and everything. And so essentially Gnostics believed the Old Testament God was this demiurge, and that actually in the Garden of Eden that Christ was a demiurge that took on the form of the snake to give Adam and Eve the fruit of knowledge so that they could free them from the fucking evil demiurge. Which also then makes no sense, because if Christ the Redeemer came to fulfill the law because of original sin and the chaos intrude after, then why would he have done it in the first place? So it's a whole like demiurge thing, and I forget what the connections I was making were. I'm trying to remember. I think I was like going on some shit where it's like, if everything really is like inherently evil, even though God created the physical realm, why is it that everything is inherently evil? And it's like, oh well, if the demiurge did create it, then it would make sense because it was a god or a fake god trying to act like the god, so it would be imperfect. But I realized that really what it comes down to is after when the devil tempted them and they ate of the fruit, then because he casted it out and man with evil was set. I mean, the devil can't walk in heaven, so the devil has to be on earth.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, Satan, if I'm not incorrect, refers to like an archetype of like a rival in ideology. So like Job was technically the first book of the Bible, like the Old Testament. And you know Job, like this dude is like God's most he's like the biggest OG of God, you know. And yet the devil comes, or Satan comes up and he's like, "Hey faggot, I bet if you like fucked with this guy, he would denounce you instantly." And God's like, "Yeah, why don't you fucking do that then, pussy?" So Satan like fucking starts like ruining Job's life, like killing his fucking wife and children, burning down his fucking house, like disease rotting his crops, all of his fucking animals die. He gets like leprosy and fucking warts all over himself, and he's just like fucking dissolving into the earth. And as he's sitting there crying, fucking rubbing soot, dirt all over himself, and God's like, "Based, man, you passed the test. Here's twice as many wives, twice as many kids, twice as many crops, 2 houses, fucking twice as many animals. You're based now." And I mean, if you look at it that way, it makes zero sense. But if you go through like the Bible in a Year by Father Mike Schmidt, he does a really good job at annotating it correctly, because it really does make no sense of like what the lesson is from that if you just read it like a retard. But there is reason to the rhyme. But So, and Job happened after Adam and Eve because he was a descendant. So, Satan couldn't have been a singular person thrown out of heaven as a serpent because he was in heaven when Job happened. And maybe I could be wrong here. Maybe it's like this weird thing where like the devil was like, you know, knew a way to talk to God, and even though he wasn't, you know, but at the same time, heaven is where all pure goes. So how could anything not pure, anything contesting, be there? It's exactly why you can't go to heaven unless you're purified through purgatory, you know. So it's a bunch of questions that I still need answered. So that'd be another thing I need to bring up for another time. But I guess we should end off on, I learned where the term Lucifer comes from and why it's such a controversial term, if you're interested.
Where did it come from?
So let me give context. So Lucifer came from a pantheon god in Rome, like a Roman
Yeah.
like a pagan god, and you probably more know him by Prometheus,
Yeah, I've heard of
which
that
was the
before.
Greek version. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he was the god that essentially the big boy god, like whatever their fucking god is, Zeus or some stupid shit. He like was mad at humans, so he took all fire from him. And Prometheus was like, I'm gonna fucking soy jack. So he fucking like climbed the mountain and like got the fire from Zeus and brought it back down to the people.
Yeah.
So Lucifer literally means light bearer because the name is from him bearing the flame that he's bringing down. So that's where the
Yeah.
context of the name comes from. So you know in at mass when you see the altar boys go around with that like fucking thing and light the candles, like that long fucking metal rod,
Yeah.
that is called a Lucifer. So that is because
Oh.
it's the light bringer. So
Yeah.
my point of saying this is because it has so many meanings. So let's take a step back, go to Isaiah in the Bible. So this is it's chapter 14, I think, and they're talking about they're like they're being controlled by Babylon. And pretty much the whole chapter 14 is Isaiah talking to the fucking Jews or the Hebrews, and he's like, dude, this is gonna be based, and this is what we're gonna fucking say to that stupid faggot king of Babylon. And essentially, one of the lines goes like, "Oh, how you've fallen from heaven, O morning star," because pretty much
Yeah.
he's mocking this guy, being like, "You want to fucking sit at the throne of God? You want to be God? You want to be this big fucking Chad where you control everything, where everything you do has an impact everywhere? But in reality, you're going straight to fucking Sheol, which is the Hebrew term for hell. And Sheol was where all souls went when they died, because keep in mind this is before Christ fulfilled the law and he was able to erase original sin and sin by his death. So when everyone died, they went to Sheol. There was just two factions in Sheol. The one in Abraham's bosom, where I think that's what it was called, Abraham's bosom, where like that was the people who were eligible to go to heaven. And then there were the people on the other side getting fucking just like shit fucked by demons, just tortured. And so they're fucking mocking this king, like being like, "Oh, because Morning Star refers to Venus, because Venus, back before they understood planets, they thought it was a
Yeah.
star because it's
Yeah.
it's the brightest light in the sky, and or at least one of them. It's so bright that you can see it during the day and at night. So essentially, they called him Morning Star because it's like you're trying to shine 24/7. You're trying to be all present. You're trying to be there constantly. You're trying to be God.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Oh, morning star, how you fallen, yet you will still descend into Sheol and burn." So,
So wait, Lucifer was the word for morning star.
correct. So morning
Oh.
star in Latin is Lucifer, which is
Yeah.
why in Revelations in Latin, when they refer to Jesus as the morning star at the Easter Vigil, which is coming up, some of it's done in Latin, and they refer to it as Lucifer, which is where
Yeah.
all these fucking Protestants are like, "Oh my God, the Pope called Jesus Lucifer," like fucking retards, so they don't do any research. So
Yeah.
I did that research because I can't wait for my mom to come up and step fucking foot in a Catholic church for the first time and be like, "Oh my God, you said Lucifer," like fucking dumb. And
I've
also,
never
fun
heard
fact,
a Protestant go this deep into anything as far as
oh dude, when I was a little esoteric e-boy, I went through these phases,
went through what phases?
like watching these videos. They're like,
Oh yeah.
"Dude,
No, but see
the
that's
Pope
that's
said
even
Latin Mass said Lucifer, and there's like a part of the Vatican that it looks like a snake."
that's fucking hilarious.
So yeah, I mean,
Oh
people
shit.
are just retarded. But another
Damn.
fun fact. So a way to this is cool, and this is what I was talking about earlier with you on the phone this morning about like how I personally think that Catholics have more rooted faith in ancient Hebrew tradition than modern day Jews do.
We're the Jews.
Yeah, we're the Jews. Gaslighting fucking Ashkenazis. We're the Jews.
We went
But
from anti-Semitic to being Semitic.
I didn't go from anywhere to anywhere. I'm just based. I, I'm I'm still I'm still J-Lo from the block, baby. But I'm Jenny from the block. But
Damn.
essentially, so do you remember fuck, what was his name? Hold on, let me find it. I sent this email recently. It shouldn't be hard to find. Uh, bu- 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 uh, Jesus, rich man and Lazarus. That was his name, Lazarus. So you know who Lazarus is, right?
No.
So that was the guy that Jesus rose from the dead. If you remember from that story, where like that guy died and he fucking like resurrected him.
Oh yeah.
So essentially, he told this little he did a little diddle where he was talking about like Lazarus was this poor guy, but he was devout to Christ. And then there was this rich guy that was rich as shit, and he mocked Lazarus. And he like would fucking talk shit to Lazarus, and he's a little fucking fag. And then they both die. And they're both in Sheol because it's before Christ died, so the law had not been fulfilled yet. So they're both in Sheol, but Lazarus is in the bosom of Abraham, right? And fucking the rich guy is in the fucking side where he's getting pegged by demons. And pretty much the rich man looks to Abraham and he goes, please, if you could just give me a drop of water, dude. I need your drip. I am fucking I am like Sahara Desert. Drip my drip my drip. Don't step, like, give me your drip, you know? Like fucking and it was because there was a Jewish tradition where you could pass from the side of tortured into Abraham's bosom, which is a part of purgatory, if I am correct. So that is a Jewish aspect that proves purgatory, that being refined through not torture but through the flames and the purification, that you may enter the bosom of Abraham, which would be purgatory now, where you go and you get cured of your sins and then you go to heaven. But fucking, what was I gonna say? So yeah, essentially, drip my drip, fucking. Oh, this is what it was. I posed the question. It's like, well, if Jews did, and I mean, I guess this already had fulfilled itself in asking the question, because, as I said, Catholics are Jews from, like, they're base Jews. But I was like, if Jews recognize the divinity of Christ and his sacrifice, would they also go by the doctrine of the communion of saints? Because it sounds like they would, if the bosom of Abraham, they directly said the intercession of Abraham to allow for them to transfer into the bosom of Abraham, which the communion of saints is when it's saint when you pray to Mary, she's your intercessor. She's the intercessor most high. She takes your prayer and serves it to Christ on a silver platter. So it's just a little interesting thing, but yeah.
Holy shit.
But yeah, dude, Catholics are Jews. Modern Jews are cringe. Modern Jews are just fucking esoteric. Dude, that's... I don't want to get into this topic. I'm going to post this on the internet.
Wait, what was it? Don't want to get into what topic?
Well, I was just going to talk about how, like, their whole fucking fake tree of Sephiroth, tree of life, it's all in, like, the New Ageism bullshit, and it's like I was telling you about that spirit science dude that your boss probably fucking follows. You remember I was telling you, it's like the people on Earth lived on the islands, and then like the Martians came and fucked everything up, and then the Jews came from the future, like the stupid shit they believe in. This dude's like, yeah, and there was like 10 islands, and they were all in the shape of the tree of life, which I can send you a picture. You remember my earring that I used to wear, right? The little dangle one?
Roughly.
I'll send you a picture of the tree of life later, but it's the Kabbalah. It's from the Zohar, which Jews claim to have been from fucking ancient times, but it really only traces back to like 780 to that Spanish Jew named Moses.
Oh yeah.
So they've thrown And it's funny because fucking Jews mock Catholics for being claiming monotheism when they believe in the Trinity. Yet this tree of life shit, it's like the God channeling himself down fucking avenues, and it's like, yeah, so these things are God, but like if God it's like if God fucking retracts from them, then they're no longer God. And it's like, well, then how can it be God in the first place? It's stupid shit. I'm sure if like fucking Jew tried to explain it, he could make it make more sense than I could. But at the end of the day, it's just a complication for shit that's made up.
Yeah.
It's just demon shit. Also, I figured out that the Seal of Solomon, the Star of David, that is actually a real thing because, you know, I've always been troubled by that because they go, it's, oh, the Star of Rempham, you know? It's
Oh
like
yeah, I
like
kind of looked into that earlier because you
yeah.
texted that to me on Instagram, but I hadn't
So
looked into
it turns out, like, you can see it on bishops' hats. You can see the Star of David, and it's because it's the Seal of Solomon. Because it is, like, the pact Solomon made to, like, tell fucking demons to fuck off, essentially.
Wait, so like what? Explain that. Like, what did he do exactly, and like how?
So Solomon, okay, so you know who Solomon is, right?
Yeah,
So Solomon, like big fucking Chad, you know, like son
yeah,
of David, David and Goliath, David, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Solomon, the big fucking Chad, essentially, he was like the OG, like esoteric fucking e-boy, if you will. But his esoteric shit was based because it was like real from God shit. Like he like was so fucking OG homied with God that like he would pretty much do like not magic, if you will, because that like is demon shit, but like he had the seals that God has, these things that are divine, he was able to be entrusted with because he was such a fucking pimp.
He was
So
given the tools of like
yeah.
God.
So for example, like the pentagram, you know, people draw that and they're like demon, 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 you know,
Yeah,
because it does have a spiritual effect. It's just that Solomon was so fucking based and understood how to use it that he was able to use it as God would intend instead of using it like a fucking retard and summoning a demon. So like
yeah,
people use pentagrams to summon demons. If you were Solomon, you'd use a pentagram and like fucking high five God. I don't know. That's the best way I could put it. But
yeah,
I mean, if you ever look into, I think it's the Seven Seals of Solomon, it all looks like some Satanist shit. But it's because, like, these things hold power. It's just if you're blessed enough to use it.
mm,
But it is unfortunate that Solomon did end up, like, the dude had, like, 700 fucking wives. And, like, they all came from all over the place. And he ended up making altars for, like, pagan gods and shit, like a fucking idiot. And he fucked himself big time. So at the end of the day, he fucked up. He's still in heaven because, you know, you're able to repent and he's fucking, you know, Jesus Christ is my nigga, you know. But
cool.
fucking it's just unfortunate. It literally proves that, like, even the best of us still fall if we allow
Yeah,
ourselves to. Keep in mind, besides Mary, so Mary didn't die. Mary got assumed into heaven, and that's because of the Immaculate Conception. Because death is a repercussion of original sin. So she didn't have original sin. She was immaculately conceived. She didn't have any of this tainted shit on her. So she didn't have to taste the bitterness of death. So she was assumed into heaven. The only
yeah.
two other people to be assumed into heaven, do you know who they are?
No, I don't.
Enoch and Elijah. Elijah was like the most based prophet in all of Christianity. I guess Hebrews or Judaism, if you will, Old Testament, but the most based prophet. Enoch was like the grandson or the great grandson of Adam. And the
Yeah,
reason why they both got assumed is because they perfectly upheld the law of Moses, Leviticus. So, fucking, and that's why they were able to go is because they upheld it. And if you and I were to perfectly uphold the law, we could also potentially be assumed into heaven, but we're retarded. So that's why
yeah,
Christ had to come, and he didn't change the law. I think he said straight up, he said something where it's like, I did not come to abolish the law, I came to fulfill it. So he didn't come to, like, the law still exists, but he gave a more based route of grace instead. So as long as we believe, confess, and are in grace, that is better than being in the law.
So he gave us like a handicap, or like
Essentially, yeah.
handicap assistance.
So, and it's funny you say that because I remember one of the first meetings at RCIA. It was we were reading one of the readings from the Sunday prior,
Yeah.
and it was where like the Pharisees are like trying to press Christ and be like, well, Moses talked to God and God said that like if you like get the Pharisee to sign off on it that you can get a divorce and get remarried. So like how the fuck can you be God if God told Moses this? And Jesus responds with, if you divorce and sleep with another person, you have committed adultery. And essentially what
Yeah.
he's saying is it's like, you fucking asshole. Like, I, not him because it was the Father, but it is him because triune God. He's like, I fucking literally. I mean, what happened with Moses? He went up, he got the 10 Commandments, he came down, they were fucking a golden calf. So he threw the fucking tablets on the ground. He's like, fuck, now I gotta get the fucking 10 Commandments for fucking retards. And he went up and got like an easier version. Because, like, God's, like, trying to be like, all right, just put in some fucking effort. Like, I get it, you're not going to be perfect. Just put in some fucking effort. So
Yeah.
he's like, fine, I'll fucking make it doable. So Moses comes down with the revised 10 Commandments. And essentially, it's like fucking... It's like he got a fucking pity rule, you know? Humans got a pity rule. So it's like, yeah, okay, you're allowed to fuck another chick if you get divorced. Fine, this can be in the rule. God gave you an exception because you're a fucking monkey, you know? Like, we get it. But when it comes down, they didn't recognize Christ as God, and they tried to fucking press him on it, and Christ is like, you fucking faggots, I gave you a handicap. I literally was considerate to you, and now you're fucking shoving it in my face, you literal fucking assholes. So, it's not that grace is more important, it's that he is literally giving us a handicap because we're such fucking monkeys that we can't fucking fulfill the law. And God wants us to be with him, but he's
Yeah.
perfect. God is perfect. He can't have imperfect things in heaven. So he's literally doing like fucking literally like crawling on hands and knees like, fuck, what can I do? What can I do to get these fucking idiots into heaven? Like, I get it. Like, fuck, I want him here. I want him here. Why can't they just fucking do the bare minimum? It's like fucking a retard in elementary school that like acts up in class and the teacher has to flip his green card to yellow. Like, fucking. So, grace is based because it's the easiest way to get in because God fucking loves us and we're too stupid to love him back like we should.
Yeah. I like how like everything, like the sum of everything that you can explain about like human relationship to like God and like the Bible is summed up to like we're too fucking retarded to like do anything right, and God just has to keep compensating and
But it is.
compensating. It's fucking.
It's like that is literally what the story is.
I know, it's hilarious. It's like holy shit, we're like really retarded.
Yeah, like all these other
We're truly
religions boast it. We're like, our God is great and we're fucking powerful. We're based humans and like our God like sucks dick and eats cum. Like we're fucking based, you know? Like, and
yeah,
then
and we're all
Christians are
God.
like, yeah, and then Christians are like, it's like those TikToks where it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so petite and small. I eat this grape and it makes me so full. It's like we're like these little retarded fucking creatures. We're so retarded. I mean, the best way I saw it, it's like everyone wants a human to become. Everyone wants themselves to become God. A human to become God. You know, ascend. Only one God became human. Only
Damn.
one God became human, lived with us, cried with us, learned with us, taught with us. Maybe not learned, but like learned among like about, learned with us,
Yeah.
taught with us, ate with us, slept with us, cried, like I said, cried with us, laughed with us,
Starved.
lived with us. Yeah, fasted with us. Only one God did that. And what did he do at the end? He didn't go, I know my people. This is based. He fucking took all of that love he had learned from us, from living with us, and he fucking took it to the cross and died. Like, bro, this was like, people are like, oh, that must have sucked. Did you know? And so, you know how, like, in fucking crucifix, how it has, like, the puncture on the side of Christ's body?
Wait, sorry, what? Say that one time?
Have you noticed on the crucifix the like puncture on the side, like in the side of the chest of Christ's body?
No, I haven't noticed that. What?
So let me give some detail about how fucking awful the crucifixion was.
Yeah.
So not only was he whipped at a pillar, not only was he fucking crowned with thorns and mocked and given purple garments, which purple meant royalty at this time. Not only was he mocked, the humility it must have felt. Not only was he fucking forced to carry that cross for like fucking miles to get to Calvary. And when he gets there, what happens? They fucking nail his hands and feet to it. So what happens on the cross? Ooh, I'm retarded. What happens on the cross? Fucking think about the position you're on. Arms up, you're sagging down, your muscles are tired. For you to be able to breathe, you have to push up with your feet to be able to take a breath. It is physically impossible to breathe when your arms and muscles are down like that. So
Yeah.
for him to fucking breathe, he has to push off with his feet, which have a fucking nail through them, to
Yeah.
be able
You're like
to
lifting your
get
feet.
enough air and then fall back down. And he has to do this every fucking time. And it was so fucking stressful on his body. And this is a medical fact. I think, I forget, one of the biggest medical associations has like done this study. This was so stressful on his body that his fucking body started filling with water. Like his chest started filling with fucking water. And this happens. This can happen to us. If something is so fucking tremendously stressful on our body, like our lungs and fucking chest start filling with water. It's like some kind of like reaction, but like
Yeah,
so
like a stress reaction.
yeah. Well, not just stress, like a literal like I'm dying reaction, like my body's failing
Oh.
reaction.
Oh, holy
So
shit.
like no, like it when he ended up dying, so what did the when he died, it started storming and fucking like lightning and thunder, and the fucking earth shook, and the sun stopped shining for a few, like fucking hour. And so everyone's like, let's get the fuck out of here, man. And the Pharisees are like, you Roman goyim, you Roman Shabbat is a term for a fucking goyim that does a Jew's will. um you Roman Shabbat, you better do the kill blow and make sure they're dead, because that's what they would do. The Romans would do a kill move on them to make sure they're dead, because they don't want them like getting off the crucifix and running away. So
Yeah.
the two people that were crucified next to him, they smashed their fucking skulls in. What do they do for Christ? They fucking shove a spear through the side of his body to puncture his heart, which is why you also see the heart the flaming heart of Christ with the thorns on it and a puncture in it, because it's
Yeah.
this. So they puncture his side and it starts pouring fucking water, because
Yeah.
he was under so much suffering that his whole abdomen filled with fucking water.
Yeah.
Like, if you think the crucifixion was like, painful, it was millions of times worse than you could even think, even if you think it's like super bad. Like, it is so
Yeah, I
like
feel like a lot of people
insane.
think it's just like bleeding out, or at least that's what I thought, like you're on this fucking thing. Obviously, it's like super painful, but like the thing that kills you is like bleeding out when it's like even a million times worse. Your body's like filling up, like literally just failing on itself.
Yeah. And like, you're torching yourself if you want to breathe, because you have to push up off your fucking feet to get a breath of air. That's
Yeah.
agonizing.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to continue breathing, you have to manually torture yourself.
Yeah.
And he did all of this so we could just be with him.
Yeah.
It's just fucked. It makes me so sad, man. When I do, like, when I beat my fucking cock, 'cause I'm a little retard fucking coomer, you know. Like, fucking, it
Yeah.
just makes me so sad because I just like, I afterwards, I'm just like, it's like, damn, dude, this fucking Chad individual like went through all of this, and I can't even stop fucking jerking off, you know, like. I'm a little Pepe crying frog boy, like a little baby, you know, and like it's fucking cringe.
No, I know. I've been trying to like out of all of these things, I've been trying to like slowly like work my way down of like doing, and I've been pretty successful at doing it. I'm actually like pretty surprised at like my big thing is like being gluttonous and like
Yeah.
eating when I don't need to, and like consuming um empty things. I call them like like empty joys, like alcohol or like fucking like overindulging in just literally anything. Or like recently I was thinking like, damn, I want a cigarette. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna fucking do that. And then even yeah, just like
Yeah.
beating your dick or like going and fucking some chick or whatever, like,
Yeah. Dude, I've been
because
like
usually if you let the time
struggling with
pass.
the smoking shit, man. Like I really want to start smoking cigarettes again, but it's like I can't let myself do one more thing that's like awful.
Oh yeah, no, I fucking feel it. And it's like I realize like if you just let the time pass, you really don't want to do it in the end. Like if you like let the craving pass, there's not like it's really just like the temptation of like wanting to do the thing.
Yeah.
Like if you just convince yourself to just wait a certain amount of time, whatever like the trend is for you, if it's like 30 minutes, an hour, you know,
Yeah.
or even 10 minutes, it's like, oh, I actually didn't really want to do this.
Yeah. Well, you know that's called martyrdom. So red martyrdom is when you get like martyred and get killed, like die. White
Yeah.
martyrdom is when you overcome temptation and not give into it. So when you do
Oh
those
shit, I
things,
didn't even know
I
that.
mean, martyrdom is a huge thing. So white martyrdom, even though you know white, if you get red martyred, like you go straight to heaven. Like that is just because it's the ultimate proof of faith. If you like die for your faith, you know. But
Yeah.
white martyrdom is like the best you can get when it comes to like being alive. So
Yeah. Oh shit.
yeah,
Yep. That's been my big thing recently. And it helps with not wasting money too, so
yeah,
it's like a double win.
yeah. So you've been going to that parish up in Bothell?
I've been bouncing between two. I forgot what they're
No,
called. Hold on. There's
you've
the
been going to
one.
confession and everything.
I went to confession. What? Or am I supposed to go every week?
I mean, you should. Are you
Oh, really?
receiving the Eucharist in a state of mortal sin?
Only no, no, I'm not. Not in the state of
Are
mortal sin.
you
No.
actually?
Like,
Do you know what a mortal sin is?
yeah, it's when I like sin and like consciously,
Yeah,
right?
but we all are in a state of mortal sin almost constantly.
Yeah. So I
So
do it
if you're not, huh?
after I do confession, like in the
Yeah, I
service
mean,
after.
ideally you should go to confession and then go to mass after.
Yeah, no, that's what I do. But like, I don't go to confession all the time because I thought you're supposed to like go like I thought you're supposed to like space it out, right?
I mean, it's a good idea to kind of space it out because you don't want to I heard um anecdote of like a dude goes to confession like every day before daily mass, and the priest essentially is like, dude, you keep fucking like having these issues, you keep asking God to forgive them, yet you don't give God any time to work to like try to get you to be better. Like you just instantly keep falling into this cycle of like, I've done it, I need to be forgiven, I get forgiven, I've done it, I need to get forgiven, I am forgiven. Like
Yeah.
you don't leave room for God to come and try to actually help you, because if you go to confession, yeah, your sins are forgiven, but I forget what it's called. But after like it's not just done there. Like you have to, your confession isn't complete, if you will, until you actually like try to make a change. And I mean, we can all fall into the same mortal sin. And like I've heard priests say that, it's better to fall into the same mortal sin than it is to have a new mortal sin you're committing every fucking week. Because,
Yeah.
like, at least it's just your nature then. Like, you're working on it, but, like, at least you're not venturing out into worse or fucking different shit.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, I guess you should go to confession once a week, though, at the minimum. Like, because Nick, I know you. I know what you're like. I know the things you do. You need to go to confession once a week. Like, if you're receiving the Eucharist without going to confession once a week, you are desecrating the body of Christ. And that is a mortal sin, even if you don't willingly know you're doing it, because that is the body of Christ.
Oh, taking the Eucharist in a state of mortal sin is a mortal sin.
Oh, 100%. Dude, it's the body
Yeah.
and divinity of Christ. Or
Yeah,
he is the body and divinity of Christ, I should say. Not it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, if that would be like going up to God and just like fucking giving him a facial and then being like, I love you, man.
Holy shit.
Like, you see what I'm saying, though? Like,
Yeah. No, I got you.
I mean, you're not like damned unless you're doing it intentionally, but like, it's just not a good idea.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I don't know, dude. I fucking
Well, I'm
I
not
can't wait
I'm not
until the
taking the
16th.
Eucharist in this. Wait, what?
I was just saying I can't wait till the 16th when I can receive my first Eucharist.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be lit.
You're gonna be there, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to LA till probably May now.
Gotcha. Yeah, dude,
most likely.
my dad is coming, my mom is coming, my fucking
Oh, your dad's
annoying
actually coming?
Yeah, he bought plane tickets like a few months ago.
Oh wait, wasn't the issue he wants to stay with you though, like at your
Yeah,
place?
well, so that was the thing is he was like, yeah, I'll come and I can like stay with you and we can like hang out and like read each other fucking like spooky stories during the night, like fucking retarded shit. And like essentially the next day I figured out my mom had that like fucking pancreatic disorder and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't feel right making her fucking spend money on a hotel when you're like a multi-millionaire fucking Tesla guy. So I told him pretty much like, yeah, you can like I'm still down for you to come, I'll still see you, but like you definitely would need to get a hotel. And he like just didn't respond to me for like fucking like a week. And then he responded, he's like, so I mean, do you still want me to come? And it's like, dude, yeah, you can fucking come. It's like you can fucking come, dude. You need to get a hotel. And like 10 minutes after that, he's like, all right, I bought the ticket for this day, I bought the hotel, I have a rental car, and it's like, all right, cool, fuck. But yeah.
Shit.
So yeah, my dad's coming, my mom's coming, and my dad's sister. I haven't told my dad about this yet. I don't think I'm gonna tell him.
Tell him what?
So my dad my dad hates his brother, which is my Uncle Don, who's that deacon in Ventura. So my dad's already kind of pissed that I talk to my uncle. I talk to my uncle probably more frequently than I talk to my dad. Yeah. And my dad also fucking hates his eldest sister. And I mean, this chick is like really fucking annoying. I'm not a big fan of her either. When I first moved back up, she texted me like, oh my god, grandma just told me you're here, we should like hang out. And I just ghosted her. I was like, I'm not doing this. But I called my grandma and grandpa the day that I got offered the full-time position to tell them, because it's like they're the only people that are up at this time that fucking care. So I guess they talked to Karen, that's my aunt, and told her I was getting baptized, and she lives in Marysville, so it's like pretty close. So she texted me and she's like, oh, grandma told me you're getting baptized, what time, when, where is it? I'm like, oh, and she's like, what day and where? I was like, oh, St. Joe's at, April 16th. She's like, what time? And I was like, oh, 8:30. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll be there. And it's like, all right, cool. But my fucking dad is not going to be happy when he fucking sees her. And I'm just not. I'm gonna
think he's gonna like start shit there?
No, he probably will be like, because I'm pretty sure the last time they really talked is when my aunt's daughter died of Hashimoto's disease, which I don't know if you know. So it's like when he and that was also when that was the first time I talked to him in like the 4 years after I fucking moved out of his place, and then
Yeah.
he saw my mom there and he like came up and gave my mom a hug. And was like, "Oh, I'm so how you doing?" Like, you know, being as fake as ever. This is when he was still married to that fucking cunt. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. He'll probably talk to her, but he'll definitely not want to fucking like stick around and see her. But she's probably gonna be like, "Why don't we all go out for dinner?" So. If she does, I'm gonna be like, yeah, fuck it, let's go.
Damn, instigating.
Yeah, but
That's fucking hilarious.
uh, yeah,
Dude, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna get to meet your dad.
that dude, have you not met my dad?
I've never met your dad.
That's probably for the best, honestly. Did I ever tell you the story like about fucking what Leach did when Tristan and Leach came to Reno to help me get my shit?
Nah.
So I was downstairs because there was like an extra room that I had my 3D printer in that I was like fucking around with, and so
Yeah.
I was cleaning that all out and shit, and Leach comes waddling up, and Tristan's like, "Yeah, Leach wants to know if he can have this." I'm like, "What?" And Leach reaches in his fucking pants, and between his butt cheeks, he
Oh
had
wait, yeah. What did he
clamped a
have?
cigar. He took one of my dad's cigars and clamped it in his fucking ass cheeks. I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't care. Just like, don't stick it in your fucking ass. I mean, it's in the wrapper, but it's like, I'm like, dude, just go put it in the fucking glove compartment of the U-Haul. He's like, well, I don't want him to find it. I'm like, he's not gonna fucking find it. Like, you're probably gonna like drop it out of your fucking pants. Like, what the how grippy do that ass be, Leech? Like, fuck.
He got that gorilla grip.
On God, dude, that shit was so funny.
Oh my God.
So
Why
when you
did he
meet my dad,
say that?
I want you. What'd you say?
Said, why did he put it in his ass?
Because he had like shorts on, and you didn't want to have it stick out of the pocket. I guess I don't fucking know.
You just wanted it to be there. He was
Did I
looking
also
for an
tell you
excuse.
about on the drive down? So we were already in California, and I remember the first time I drove down. Because keep in mind, I had driven down my fucking car down to San Diego like 2 weeks prior to this, right?
Yeah.
And so I also omitted to remember that I accidentally scheduled the trip up to get my shit on Father's Day.
Oh shit.
So that was awkward. But anyways, Leach, Tristan, and I were fucking flying down the highway, and Tristan's just being a little fucking bitch because he's not getting to drink because he doesn't want to fucking have to piss every fucking 10 minutes, and he doesn't have weed to smoke, so he's just fucking being a little pain in the ass whiny bitch. And
Yeah, I remember you told me about that.
yeah, so we
And then he
stop off
made you
because
guys late.
yeah, well, that was the original thing. This is when we were still in San Diego.
Yeah, yeah.
But so we stop off at this fucking dispensary because I remember driving down and saw it. It was like, it said like tax free. I was like, what the fuck? So I'm like, whatever. I'll fucking stop off and I'll buy Tristan some pot so he'll shut the fuck up. So I buy him some pot, and him and Dan smoke. And fucking, this is like, Dan is so lightweight. He smoked like a third of the joint. Bro, this guy, you know Dan, you know he like doesn't really ever shut the fuck up. You know, he's always got something to say.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy was silent for like 2 hours.
Really?
He's riding fucking bitch in the U-Haul, and this dude is just like gone. And so we're flying down the highway, and Tristan's like, "Yo, fucking look at that!" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "There's the fucking there's this side of this fucking like mountain was on fire," and
Yeah.
so we saw these like helicopters coming in and dumping water on it, and like the whole time Leach is like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah," and then like 3 hours later he sobered up, and like out of nowhere he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. When you guys were talking about that fire, I just like didn't see it, but I just like wanted to fit in, so I pretended I did."
See.
Oh my god, it was so
Oh my
fucking
God.
funny. uh, I
He
fucking
didn't want
love
to feel
Dan,
left
dude.
out.
I talked to Dan the other day. We got on Discord. I watched him play Elden Ring. He fucking sucked.
Oh my god. Dude, Dan. Fucking hilarious.
Dude, see, this is we're an hour and 44 minutes into this. Like, podcasters so fucking easy.
Dude, let's
Like, we're
get that
literally just
Spotify deal.
bullshitting. We're fucking literally just bullshitting.
I know.
Oh.
Dude, we'd easily have a better podcast than August Kyle.
We already do. They haven't even uploaded anything.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, definitely once a month we gotta fucking just sit down and do this. And
I know,
I'll just
really.
like record myself playing fucking Destiny or something and put it as the background.
Yes.
Dude, next time I do the raid, I'll just record the whole thing. That'll probably have enough time to be the background.
Fuck, I wish we got the fucking QAnon conversation on.
Oh, bro, that would have been so good.
No, I know. I was silent for so long on this.
For the 3 people that end up watching, and for the 0 people that get this far in, essentially, Nick's boss is a fucking esoteric QAnon fucking little
New Ager
quirky girl. Yeah. And I was taught in the fine fucking arts of Nihongo by Based Sensei, this fucking like 78, probably like 79 now year old Japanese woman that like fucking like is super into QAnon shit. And we were talking about like how QAnon people believe that like Trump and Biden like surgically fucking swapped faces, and like anytime you see fucking Biden stuttering, it's Trump trying to learn how to speak like Biden. And anytime you see Trump being tried for war crimes, which, mind you, never happened. But anytime you see him tried for war crimes, that it's actually Joe Biden in Trump's body, and it's like all this stupid shit. So it was a little ha-ha quirky tee-hee moment.
Whoa. God. And I wish we got all that in, because I'm like sitting here now. Like half that conversation, I'm like feeling this beer. I've been starving myself all day, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have a beer, I'll be fine. And then,
yeah, you shouldn't break fast with alcohol. You can like die.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah,
Sounds
like,
pretty lit.
You should not break fast with alcohol. You could like straight up die. No bueno.
Dude, I'm playing Tetris.
The fuck are you talking about?
I don't know.
Sai, shut the fuck up.
I'm just absolutely fucked right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it's 1:30 in the morning, and I have to work tomorrow, so...
Oh my god, it's 1:30.
Yeah, it's 1:30. We've been recording for like 2 hours.
Holy fuck. Are you serious?
It's an hour and 47 minutes.
Holy shit.
Dude, it took me like 45 minutes just to fucking finish up that Brother Mike story.
Brother Mike.
There was just so much that happened, dude.
Dude, Sister Duana.
Sister Duana.
Yeah, we should go back to that Red Robin and find her and just be like,
Bro.
we're looking for Sister Duana.
I'm fucking down. Just be like, Sister Duana. Yeah, I'm sorry about Brother Mike. He doesn't understand how he comes across.
Brother Mike.
Oh my. Dude, the worst part is that guy. So you remember when I first moved up here and I was like trying to find a fucking like epic rad trad Catholic church that does Latin mass, and like I found that one in Tacoma I was talking about?
Yeah.
That's the one he always goes to.
Oh, really?
It is also called St. Joe's in Tacoma, I guess. St. Joseph's.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he fucking like... But he's just like started coming to St. Joseph's in Issaquah for some reason. Like he's been there for like the last 3 fucking weeks in a row. I really don't like it.
What is he, like church hopping or something?
Dude, I don't... He's like...
Because he's trying to recruit people for
I
that thing.
feel something special about this church. Something special is happening here. It's like, yeah, brother Mike, it's special because you're not here. It's
He's
special
trying to recruit
ed
for his shit,
now.
remember?
Huh?
He's trying to recruit for his shit. That's why.
Yeah. Dude, the thing is, like, and I can't fucking say I want to do this yet because I'm not even baptized. You have to wait like 2 or 3 years after. But, like, as I am right now, I think it would be a really fucking fun and, like good thing, like, vocation-wise. I would really like to go into seminary and, like, fucking... I really like Franciscans. So, like, he went to Ave Maria Franciscans College, you know, like, that is a connect to have. But this dude is just fucking insane. It's like... Ah, you fucking cringe. Do I bite the bullet and speak to Brother Mike and try to get into Ave Maria and become a fucking Franciscan friar? Or do I, like, just not? I'm definitely not. Because I don't even know if I am going to go that route yet. I just have a great admiration for that. I don't know if that's where I'm being called vocation-wise. I would love if it turned out like that, but I have no way to say one way or another. But, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I forget. Let me look at the date. So there's this fucking Franciscan friar that, dude, I've been following his YouTube since like high school. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why. Like, he's a priest. I have no idea. Like, I just like fucked with him in high school, you know. His name is Father Casey, and he's a Franciscan, and he's like really famous. And what month is 7? Is that July? Yeah, July, because it's July, August, September, right? If I get this wrong, I'm gonna be very upset with myself. Yes, it's July. So in July, on July 30th, July 24th, he's gonna be doing a talk at a parish in Seattle, and we should go to it.
On July 24th.
Yeah.
All right, let's fucking bull.
This guy's super cool. And I commented, I was like, bet I'll be there, and he fucking liked my comment.
Damn.
But, I just saw a post on Instagram where someone accidentally meant to say save Ukraine, but they said save urine. Paste.
Oh, fuck. Oh, man. Dude, electrons in Ukraine.
Yeah, dude. Slithering around.
I know, just sat there. I'm like, does she just mean Jews?
I mean, if she's against that, I mean, can you fault her?
I can't.
I feel confident saying these things because no one's gonna watch 2 hours of two fucking retards talking about dumbass shit. So
I also feel confident about saying these things because I didn't say anything.
I mean, you said it.
No one cares. I'm brown.
Fuck you, dude. I hate that you have the brown pass. Like, you're Asian, bro. You're fucking like a quarter Japanese. You just have that predominant Filipino fucking, like duck in the oven braised with soy sauce skin. Like,
yeah.
If you fucking like if you like rub yourself up with baby oil, a Chinese man would try to come fucking cut you on a skewer.
That sounds pretty lit to me.
You gotta laugh more, man. You're too drunk. If people get here, they're gonna think I'm just being racist and that you're not down for the cause.
Dude, I dare some fucking leftist to come for my fucking neck because I promise that I know more than them. They can go fuck themselves.
I didn't know Lopez joined this call.
God, I'm telling you, my fucking politics change based on who I'm talking to.
That's the funniest shit. Dude, did you know Pope Francis said this year that we should give up trolling for Lent?
Wait, are you serious?
It may have been forged, but it was like a bunch of articles I saw about it. It was fucking
That's so
hilarious.
funny. I give up trolling for
Nah. It's like, sorry, Popeye. Like, I'm a certified grade A churro.
bro. That's freaking hilarious.
Shit was funny.
Wow. No, I can't wait for the day like some Discord chats get leaked or like fucking an old tweet, which I don't even know which tweet of mine would even like
Yeah, all your
resurface.
fucking tweets are about like not liking white people, so it's not like you get in trouble anyways.
It's like no, it's like 25% something about a white person, 25% something like schizo. The other quarter is like fucking actually no, yeah, 50% of my tweets are like schizo, and then the last quarter is just like no, actually never mind. It's just 75% schizo and 25% something about a white person.
So does your tweet essentially look like this? Like, man, this YT over here, he's in my skin, he's in my skin, he's in my walls, he's in my skin. Is that what your tweets sound like?
No, it's like the white man has colonized my skin.
Meanwhile, you're just getting facials by a fucking white guy on the subway.
Yeah. Let's see. I can read off some of my recent tweets.
How about it?
All right. If any of our two listeners want to follow me, my Twitter is at Kid from Renton. And all right. Let's see. I'm an inspiration sponge. I'm about to go Marty Bird. I'm about to go
What does
Frank
that even
Abagnale Jr.
mean? Who's Marty Bird?
He's a money launderer in the show Ozark.
What the fuck is that?
Huh?
What the fuck is Ozark?
It's a show about money laundering for the cartel.
Okay. Proceed.
And then okay, I'm about to go Frank Abagnale Jr.
Who the fuck is your tweets just deriving of I'm about to go insert name of person? Is this all you fucking tweet?
Well, just listen to the rest. Okay, so I'm about to go Frank Abagnale Jr. You and her DMs. She calls me a sociopath. We are not the same. Kombucha girls are just evolved hot Cheeto Arizona girls. She broke. I'm up.
Oh my god.
100% of anemic girls refuse to take their iron.
What does that even mean?
It means 100% of anemic girls refuse to take their iron. Drake breaking things right now. That's when Rihanna announced she was pregnant.
Renounced or announced?
She renounced her pregnancy.
She renounced her pregnancy.
'Dumb cunt. I tweeted that on Janessa's birthday.
Fair. To the one person watching now, all my niggas hate Janessa.
Whoa. A black cat, a white cat, black cat, white cat, black cat, white cat emoji. I'm finna go negligent.
It's funny because I see the 5'6" face behind these tweets.
Let's see. Kanye wishes he was Forrest Gump. The national anthem don't even slap. And then I quote tweeted my tweet and said, "National anthem drill remix coming soon." And that was on the 4th of July.
Folks.
Fellas, is it gay to do work on another man's house?
Any more context to that?
Nope. Roddy Rich is my Roddy Rich is my favorite conscious rapper.
What does that even
Um.
mean? What is a
Oh,
conscious rapper?
Roddy Rich is my favorite conscious rapper. Yeah, just that.
What is a conscious rapper though?
People put like Kendrick or Cole in that position, where they're
Oh,
like,
like woke rapper.
yeah, like a woke rap. They call them conscious rappers. So I said
Who the
Roddy
fuck?
Rich is my
What did Roddy Rich make?
nothing conscious.
Well, yeah, but like, isn't that the guy that made like the stick or something?
The box, yeah.
Yeah,
This,
I'm gonna put the stick in the box. Wow,
yeah. Uh,
revolutionary.
um, there's this video of this guy in a wheelchair talking about going to the storm the Capitol thing, and I said,
No.
he was like, at the end of the video, he was like, so he's like, so stand with us and blah blah blah, and I commented, bro, you gotta stand with me. um I will not die sober. um
That's a little bit of a foreboding tweet based off of your mortal sin workings.
uh Fuck the pilgrims. um which pedophile war criminal y'all voting for?
Yeah, based. Yeah.
um
I saw one where it's like, "Are you voting for pedophile or Israel?"
Are you voting? Fire. um Metlin's like a whitey in a poorly lit room. um
That's something none of y'all will get. I'll just put a
uh
picture of Ethan up there when that fucking happens.
um Abuse your manic episodes, it's great. um
There's that 75 schizo.
let's see. Honestly, this land was taken fair and square, buddy. Hashtag Columbus Day.
How
um
old is that tweet?
that was I was in San Diego.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
so
those are all of
weird that
my
you lived in San Diego and then I lived in San Diego.
right.
Oh,
Let's see. mm, yeah, that's it.
damn.
Oh, I
Any
quote tweeted this person. They said,
no.
starting to think I am the problem. And I quote tweeted it. And I just, with a picture of Future looking at himself in the mirror. And I just said, nah.
All right, that must have been like 2016 or something.
No, that was like last week.